Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and there is chaos in the streets of Chile right now, and as many of you know, there have been major protests taking place following the fare for trains going up, and we are joined right now by the one and only Davinci Jeremie, who of course lives in Chile, and he got out right before all this started happening, and of course he's known for his work in cryptocurrency and talking about the monetary system and all that, Davinci J15 on YouTube. But today I wanted to talk to you, Davinci, about the craziness that's happening in Chile, because obviously it's reaching headlines around the world, and it's good to get a perspective from someone who's lived there. First of all, what do you think led to all this craziness we're currently seeing in Chile?
Well, basically, what you have to understand is that most people in Chile, they live on like approximately $600 a month, and that is just enough to cover the rent and food and a little bit of transportation to your job. Prices of everything have been going up because of the current currency war that's going on. Most countries are trying to reduce the value of their currency against the US dollar. This, in effect, causes prices to go up because obviously they want to sell the commodities, food, to the United States. And this also enriches the top percentiles, because obviously they're going to reap the rewards of the increased prices. And at the same time, their labor costs take a while before they actually go up in price. And so this is hurting the poor and also the retirees substantially in Chile. And this fare increase was just the straw that broke the camel's back for most people, and they just lost it. And when you have nothing to lose, right, you go and you go crazy. So
Yeah.
that's what's happening here. It's been 4 days now. My employee went to the office today. I told her not to go in, but she had to go and grab her computer, and it took her 4 hours to get to the office. And she witnessed people in the metro station protesting, people looting grocery stores. Also, there are a few grocery stores open, right? But the lineups are like 5 hours long. It still hasn't calmed down there in Chile.
Well, I do want to note that there are a lot of different sides to this story coming from a lot of different people, and there's a lot of confusion, as always, with any of these cases. But I have seen videos of protesters attacking those that are attempting to loot stores. So it's not all protesters, of course, and there's a lot of protesters that tried to help put out a fire recently in Santiago. There's examples of good and bad in this situation, as always. But I wanted to ask, did you see this coming in your years in Chile? I mean, what's the price of living really like down there for the average person? You mentioned $600 a month. I mean, obviously that's not a whole lot, but I mean, regarding inflation and the monetary system, did you see this kind of thing encroaching?
Yes, I mean, I did. When I would constantly pass by the what's called the Casa de Cambio, which is basically an exchange house where you could exchange money, and I noticed that the Chilean peso was constantly losing value. I'm like, this is not going to end well. I didn't know how exactly it was going to end, but I knew people were going to be losing a lot when prices go up because of that, and here we are. So I kind of figured this was going to happen. I just didn't see it as it did occur. Do you know that 41 metro stations out of the 139 have been burnt down and are unusable?
And at the moment, we see a death toll of around 11 people as of 9 hours ago, but it's hard to keep up with the death toll and with the injuries and all the things that are happening, because a lot of people are just not keeping tally. They're not looking on the ground because it's dangerous. And I do want to note that there are alternatives to what we're seeing on the news. Obviously, a lot of people are saying, you know, this is a communist uprising, almost, that communists are taking over the streets. And some are even going as far as to say that this was kind of a movement that has been emboldened by people like Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. There's one theory that I got a little while ago from a man who has some good intelligence on the ground that's saying that several agents of the Bolivarian intelligence service were arrested in Chile for inciting riots. Also confirmed inciting the Chilean Communist Party to riot are members of the collectives Venezuelan paramilitary groups loyal to Maduro. Pedro Carvallino led a collective group in Venezuela before he was spotted in Chile. There's a lot of stuff like this coming up, and you got to wonder: are there provocateurs that are using tough times among the Chilean people to try and cause chaos as some kind of revenge for Chile recently trying to stop all the refugees coming in from Venezuela? What do you think of this?
Well, there's a lot of rumors and speculation going on, so you can't really accept that at face value. But from what I hear on the ground is that this is like a leaderless movement of people just being angry and wanting to do something. And I believe that's the case. Now, rolling back to the point where you said that it's a communist movement. You have to understand there's a lot of communism in Chile. People don't want to vote for that, of course, because you know where that ends. Right?
Yeah.
And so, I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of the communist people are out there supporting this chaos here, and that's there's a lot of memes out there now with wanting Pinochet to come back. Obviously, he can't because he's dead, because he killed all the communists, right? So that's one of the things I found very interesting, because I saw a lot of memes with bring back Pinochet.
Yeah. Well, and we know what happens when, there's extremes on either side. One extreme on the right will lead to extremes on the left. One extreme on the left will lead to extremes on the right. Killing a bunch of communists led to probably a lot of communists rising up and feeling that they've been vindicated in one way or another in what one would call fear mongering. But I do see a lot of stuff on the ground about how, there's a few McDonald's that are open on the ground, but they are doing what the Oxxos in Acapulco do and are using full caged bars over the entrances, and that people inside are retrieving bags of chips for people. A lot of people over there right now have not eaten in a while. It's really hard to get food on the ground, and that is a really major concern going forward. I have to ask though, what do you see this turning into? Because which way could it possibly go? More government, less government, the abolishment of the current government, another government coming? It just doesn't seem like there's a good ending to this story. What do you think?
Yes, I think here's the thing, right? Any kind of charismatic person can take over this huge movement, because like the government seems to just wants to deal with somebody, and there's no one to deal with, right? And they have already backtracked on the price of the subway system, but that's not enough. People want more, and I think the current government has done very well in order to raise people's standards of living. It's just that it hasn't been moving fast enough. For example, retirees have instead of receiving just bonuses, which the previous government did, has decided to double the pensioners' income, but slowly over time, not right away. So it's not working out as well as that I thought it would have, only because people in Chile, they prefer the bonus for some reason than a permanent increase in their salary. And I'm like, I find that ridiculous.
Well, I have to ask, finally, Davinci, going forward, how much do you think this has to do with central banking in general? We're seeing all of these massive riots and protests happening all over the world, in Barcelona and Paris and Hong Kong, and obviously in Chile and Argentina and Ecuador. There are some serious movements happening, and it seems that it all is rooted in distress regarding finances, poverty, and obviously the price of living. How much do you think this really has to do in general, wherever we are in the world, wherever we're seeing this, with the central banking system and inflation?
Well, obviously, I know that this is all caused by our central banking system. It enriches the rich, whilst it impoverishes everybody else. So the big businesses, of course, support the system because it helps them. I'm hoping that we can switch over to a hard money standard, because then with that, people could start to save and see the value of their money increase as prices continue to go down, not up. And that's the way it should be going forward. But you know what? Honestly, I realize that people are trying to convince people of this is really difficult. They do not see the value of money. They don't understand how money works and how important it is that it works fairly in our system. And basically, we need somebody to explain it to them in a way that, hey, you know what, things are going to get better, because actually, first it has to get worse before it gets better, and that's the difficult part to explain.
And Bitcoin has helped out a lot in a lot of ways, like in places like Venezuela and in places like Argentina. I think that we're seeing a growing movement there, and hopefully we can replace, instead of just put a new puppet at the top. But that's a thing. There's all this distress all over the world. There's all these problems happening, and it's hard to get people to truly wake up to the reasoning behind these things happening, and it all is traced back to money. Yet at the very least, we can say that people are waking up. It's just in which direction. Are they waking up to something's wrong, or are they waking up to something's wrong and this is what's wrong? And that is something that we need to be asking going forward, and hopefully we can spread that education far and wide. I know you do a lot of great work, Davinci. I've seen your channel, Davinci J15, really awesome work. Can you tell people where they can find more of your work and support the work that you're doing? Because I think it's really important now more than ever.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel, Davinci J15. I'm also on Twitter, Davinci J15. I have also a company called Davinci Codes. I have some free videos if you're interested in learning my technique and a little old lady strategy of investing in altcoins. I think it's a very interesting way of investing with the altcoins. It allows you to invest without losing a whole lot of money, because I'm tired of watching people message me and saying, hey, I put all my money in this altcoin, and I'm like, oh my God, no, don't do that. So if you're interested in learning how to invest in altcoins, please check out the videos at davincicodes.net. And if you like that and you decide to use that method, I'm selling this wallet called Pandora's Wallet to help you trade with using that method as well.
So you're saying I shouldn't put all of my life savings into Dentacoin?
No.
Well, anyway, I really appreciate you joining us today, Davinci, and thanks for filling us in on this information. It's hard to get around without people who've actually been there on the ground and have lived it. So I really appreciate you joining us today, and we hope to talk with you again soon.
Yes, thank you.
Like what you see here, Wham! Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon. We cannot do it without you guys. Every donation is extremely, extremely appreciated, as we're getting incredibly shadow banned. We've lost 80% of our audience since January of 2019 and counting. They are ripping us apart here on YouTube, and the only thing we could do in the meantime as we prepare for the next big step is to ask for help from the viewers that support our free information that we try to post on a daily basis. You can also find us on Subscribestar, where just $1 a month, that's all it takes, $1 a month is all it takes to truly make a huge difference. If everyone gave $1 a month, it would change everything for independent media, and we could win this information war, and we can defeat the mainstream medias eventually. And of course, on Subscribestar, we post subscriber-only content that you'll only see on Subscribestar. So make sure to pledge there, become a patron. That makes a huge difference, guys. And also, don't forget to check out our Bitcoin address below in the comments and description, as well as on the screen for you to scan if you please. And also, don't forget to subscribe to us on the alternatives. We will likely be deleted by YouTube in the next 2 years. It's already happening on a vast scale, so make sure to find us on flote.app. That's flote.app. At Josh Sigurdson, as well as at WAM, W-A-M. Flote.app is replacing every social media, and I mean, it's just incredible the opportunities it provides for not just creators, but for the average person who wants to get away from these nannies telling them what they can or cannot see. They plan to replace Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon. You could subscribe to us on Flote and pledge with cryptocurrency. It's really innovative. We are also on BitChute at World Alternative Media, as well as so many others, Minds, PocketNet. You can find us at World Alternative Media on Instagram. There's many options. And finally, don't forget to join us at Anarchapulco 2020, the famous event, the best liberty event known to mankind, other than perhaps Anarcho Vegas 2020. There are 2 major events coming up that we are extremely excited about, and you can use promo code WAM, that's W-A-M, and save 10% on your tickets to these legendary conferences. There's so many amazing people speaking there. You won't want to miss it. So make sure to support in any way you can, even if it's just sharing our videos, pressing like, pressing to be notified. Anything helps, folks. You are the change you wish to see. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.